The Forgotten Guardian. Commander Elena Reeves was standing at the viewport of the Lunar Orbital Station. She was watching the construction crews work on what was left of Earth's defense fleet. The Earth had 12 ships. That is all that humanity had been able to build in 50 years of being a member of the galaxy. These 12 ships were really exploration vessels that people had quickly changed to carry weapons even though they were not meant to have weapons on them. Commander Elena Reeves looked at the Earth's defense fleet. Saw that it was not very big. The 12 ships were all that humanity had to defend itself. Against them would come 600 warships of the Krell Dominion. Elena was 42 years old. She had spent half of her life getting ready for a war that everyone said would never happen. The war is here now. The war is real. Nobody wants to listen to Elena, the woman they called paranoid for 20 years because of the war. Elena knows a lot about the war. Elena wants to help people understand the war. Commander Reeves. The voice was Admiral James Porter, the man in charge of defending the Earth. His face on the screen looked really tired, like he had been up all night. He looked a lot older than 60 years. The council has made their decision. Elena turned away from the window. Let me take a guess, they are saying that the space station should give up. The people in charge are saying we should agree to what the Krell want. We would have to let the Krell protect us and do what they say. This means we would not be able to make our decisions anymore, but at least we would be alive. Porter's jaw got really tight. I did not vote for this, Porter said. I voted against the Krell's terms. I want to know how many members of the council voted for the council to give in. How many council members actually voted in favor of the council giving up? 8-4. Elena felt something cold settle in her stomach. 50 years ago people had gone all the way to the stars thinking they would meet guys. What they found was the Galactic community, which is a group of peaceful species that do not fight anymore. The Galactic community is made up of species who had changed a lot over time. People were really happy. They wanted to show that they were good enough to be part of the Galactic community. So they stopped trying to be strong with guns and armies. They built spaceships to learn things instead of making warships. The Galactic community and humanity worked together. Humanity focused on learning about new things instead of protecting themselves. The Galactic community was a part of this change in humanity. The Krell Dominion came to our planet from the edge of the galaxy. This was an empire that took over 40 systems in just 30 years. The Krell Dominion sent a message to Earth 3 months ago. The Krell Dominion said we have to do what they want. The Krell Dominion gave us 2 choices. We can give in to the Krell Dominion, or the Krell Dominion will destroy us. The Krell Dominion gave humanity 60 days to make a decision about what to do with the Krell Dominion. Today was day 57. Porter said that there is something. Before the council made a decision, Porter gave the okay for a salvage operation. This operation is happening at Deep Storage Facility 7, which is located in the Jupiter sector. The Jupiter sector is where this facility is, and that is where the operation will take place, at Deep Storage Facility 7. Elena's breath caught in her throat. She said, "You did not do that." "I did that. The USN Titan is actually being towed to Mars orbit now. I need you to take command of the USN Titan." The Titan. Elena had just become an officer when they started building the Titan 23 years. This was a deal for people because it was something they made to deal with the unknown. They built the Titan over 5 years after people from Earth first met people from else. Then everyone was really scared of what might be out there in the dark space between stars. The ship was created by people who thought about wars and engineers who figured out how to build things. These people thought that humans would have to fight against enemies who had good technology. So they did not try to make the ship's technology good as the aliens. They made the ship to take advantage of the weaknesses that the aliens would have when they fought in space. The ship was made to use the weaknesses of the way that space wars are fought. The Galactic community was really peaceful. They decided the Titan was not needed before it even got to go on its mission. It was too aggressive and too focused on war. This was very embarrassing for humanity because it showed how paranoid people used to be. So they put the Titan away in a storage place and tried to forget about it. The Galactic community just wanted to forget about the Titan and the way humanity used to think. "Admiral, I do not think the Titan is really ready. The Titan's weapon systems are ideas that have not been used before. We have a plan for how to use the Titan. We have not actually tried using the Titan in a real fight. The way we plan to use the Titan in battle is not based on experience with the Titan." Then Porter said, "You will have 3 days to make this work. The Krell fleet is coming to Earth in 72 hours. The Council is going to say that Earth gives up in 71 hours and 59 minutes. The Krell fleet will be here. The Council will announce that Earth surrenders, which is in 71 hours and 59 minutes just before the Krell fleet arrives." Elena looked at him. You are giving me 1 minute to stop the surrender of the people who are giving up? Elena thought this was a short amount of time to stop a surrender. The idea of a surrender was that people were giving up and Elena had to stop it. Elena was not sure if she could stop the surrender in 1 minute that he was giving her. I am giving you one ship to save humanity. The ship is the Titan. If the Titan can hurt the Krell fleet before we surrender, then maybe we can show the Council that we can resist. We can fight back against the Krell fleet. Maybe the Titan can inspire people to fight back. The Titan has to bloody the Krell fleet. This is our chance to show that resistance is possible with the Titan. What happens if the plan does not work out? If I really do fail? Porter looked really serious. Then at least humanity will die standing up or crouching down. The crew is getting together now. You can do what you think is best with the tactics and strategy, Commander. Make sure it is worth it, Commander. Humanity is counting on you, Commander, so make it count. The transmission has come to an end. Elena turned around, looked at the viewport. She saw the fleet that was supposed to protect them. It did not look like it would be enough. The fleet looked weak. She looked past the fleet into the darkness of space. That was where the Empire was coming from. The Empire was going to attack them. Elena was worried. Then she decided to open a channel to the people in orbit around Mars. I need to get to the USN Titan away. This is Commander Elena Reeves. I'm asking for a ride to the USN Titan. My special code is Porter Omega 7. I want to go to the USN Titan soon as possible. The person said, confirmed, Commander. They told us that the transport is leaving in 20 minutes. Elena had 20 minutes to get ready for something that seemed impossible. The thing that was about to happen was the impossible. Elena was going to have to deal with the impossible. She only had 20 minutes. The Mars orbital facility was a place where big dreams went to die. There were lots of ships and new systems just floating around in the dark. They were like reminders of projects that people had given up on or just forgot about. The Mars orbital facility had the Titan. It was like a big scary animal surrounded by smaller, weaker animals. The Titan was really something at the Mars facility. The ship was really big. It was 4 kilometers long. It was a dark gray color. The ship was shaped like a spear. It had 6 huge engines that made it move. These engines were very powerful. The ship did not look pretty or fancy. It just looked like it was made to do its job. The outside of the ship was very thick and strong. It had lots of layers of armor that looked like the armor that knights used to wear a long time ago. The ship looked like it was wearing armor over its body. The armor was made up of plates that overlapped each other. This made the ship look very strong and protected. The ship was about being strong and powerful, not about looking nice. Chief Engineer Marcus Webb met Elena at the airlock. Chief Engineer Marcus Webb was a guy with wide shoulders. He was probably in his 50s. Chief Engineer Marcus Webb had hair and his hands were all scarred up, from working with machines for a very long time. Commander Reeves, it is great to have you on the ship. This ship is really ugly. I think it is the ship in the whole fleet. He was smiling at Commander Reeves. You could tell he was very tired. His smile was real though. I was one of the people who helped build this ship a time ago. When Admiral Porter called me, I had to say yes. I could not say no to Admiral Porter. Elena said, how bad is it, as they walked through the corridors? The corridors smelled of air and machine oil. The smell was really bad. Elena wanted to know how bad the situation was. She asked about it as they walked. The ship is in shape. It is strong. Can withstand a lot. The fusion reactors are working well. They are almost at 100%. The armor on the ship is also fine. The ship has some problems though. We do not have people to fill all the crew positions on the ship. Half of them are empty. The weapons on the ship have never been used in a fight, only in practice sessions. The artificial intelligence coordinator on the ship has not been working for 20 years. It has been asleep. The people got to the bridge. This bridge was really different from the command centers you see on new ships. There were control stations around the walls that you could actually touch. The tactical displays had wireframe pictures instead of pretty pictures. The bridge had systems to back everything up. The manual backup systems were there to help the bridge systems. Elena said that thing looks really old. She said it softly. Webb said that this is a thing. No holographics means the enemy will not see us on their sensors because we do not give off any light. We also do not have interfaces, so the bad guys cannot get into our systems with their computers. The people who made this thing thought that we would be fighting against enemies who are good at hacking into or turning off complicated systems. Everything can be done by hand if we need to do it that way. Webb corrected that this is practical. The designers of this thing assumed that we would be fighting enemies who could get into or disable our systems. A woman came up to us. She was a lady with a lieutenant badge on her uniform. She said, Commander Reeves, I am Lieutenant Sarah Kim. I am in charge of communications here. We have finished making the list of everyone on the ship. The Galaxy ship has 240 people on it. Some of these people, 90 of them used to work for the defense team. The rest of the people on the ship are volunteers. Elena looked at me. Said, volunteers? She raised an eyebrow. I could tell she was not sure what to think about the volunteers. The idea of volunteers was still on her mind. Elena thought about the volunteers for a moment. People started talking about the mission. The mission got a lot of attention. We received more than 3,000 applications for the mission. Most of the people who applied for the mission are scientists and engineers who were not able to work on the things they wanted to because they were too interested in uses for the mission. The mission also got applications from people who just did not want to give up without trying to do something about it. Elena walked to the command chair. Sat down. The command chair was really simple. It was made to work, not to be comfortable. Elena said, activate the ship's AI coordinator. Webb moved to a console. He said, I am waking up the Oracle now. The bridge lights flickered. Then a voice filled the command center. It was neutral and precise. The AI coordinator Oracle said, I am online now. The current date is November 7, 2247. It has been 22 years, 4 months and 16 days since the AI coordinator Oracle was last activated. The AI coordinator Oracle is scanning the situation of the command center. Pause. The Earth is in trouble. We are talking about the Krell Dominion and they are a huge threat to our planet. The Krell Dominion has a lot of ships coming our way. They have 600 capital ships and who knows how many smaller support vessels. The Krell Dominion will arrive in 68 hours and 12 minutes. We do not have defenses to protect the Earth. If we use our ways of fighting, the chances of the Earth surviving are very, very small. 0.03%. The Krell Dominion is just too strong. Oracle, Elena said. Load the combat package. It is called Crimson Protocol. We are going to show the Krell why humanity built the Oracle. The Oracle is a deal and we need it to fight the Krell. We are counting on the Oracle to help us. The Crimson Protocol is now loaded. I have to warn you, the tactics we're about to use go against a lot of the rules that the galactic community has in place for warfare. In fact, we are talking about 17 conventions that we will be violating. I think it is very likely that we will face some kind of fallout from this. I would say there is a 99% chance that this will happen. The Crimson Protocol is really going to cause some problems. We are already being invaded, Webb said. The diplomatic consequences are the least of the problems that the invasion is causing for us, the people who are being invaded by them, the invaders. Elena got up. Talked to the people on the bridge. Everyone needs to listen to what I have to say. People over the galaxy think we are not strong because we made ships to explore instead of ships to fight. The Krell think we are targets because we have not been fighting back. They are wrong about us. The people who built the Titan thought things could go bad and they got ready for that. Every single thing on the Titan is made to fight in a way that's not fair, to find the weak spots in the other guy, to win even when it seems like we cannot win. The Titan is a ship. It can do things that other ships cannot do because the people who built it wanted to make sure we can protect ourselves. The galaxy and the Krell do not know what the Titan can really do. They just think we are weak because of the ships we built. But the Titan is different. It is a ship that can fight and win. It looked at every single crew member. We are going to take this one ship against 600 ships. Most of the crew members will probably not make it through this. We are going to hurt the enemy ships badly enough that the people on Earth know that it is possible to resist. We are going to fight the enemy ships well, that the whole galaxy remembers that humanity does not give up. Lieutenant Kim said something. Commander, the Krell flagship is sending out a message on all frequencies. Should I play the Krell flagship message on the speakers so everyone can hear the Krell flagship message? Do it. The voice on the bridge was really deep. It was translated from the Krell's clicking language by a computer. War Leader Thorax of the Krell Dominion said, "You humans are pretty simple. We saw your old ship leaving Mars. We think you are trying to be brave before you give up. We respect bravery even if you are going to become part of us. Your bravery will be remembered for a while. The Krell Dominion will take over. The humans will be part of the Krell. War Leader Thorax of the Krell Dominion is talking to you. The Krell Dominion is strong. The humans are weak. The transmission has come to an end." Webb laughed in a way. "This guy really thinks he can do it," Webb said about the man. "The man sounds very sure of himself," Webb thought to himself about the man. "Good," Elena said. "When our enemies are confident, they make mistakes. Oracle, can you give us the course to intercept them? I want our fleet to hit their fleet before they get to Earth. We need to stop them before they reach Earth. We are figuring this out. The best place to intercept them is the asteroid belt. This is where we want to go. We have 42 hours to get Once we are at the asteroid belt we will have some protection and the other side will not be able to use all of their ships against us. The asteroid belt is a place for us to defend ourselves because it has a lot of rocks and things that can get in the way of the other side. This will help us because the other side has ships than we do. The asteroid belt will limit their advantage. We need to get to the asteroid belt in 42 hours. The asteroid belt is our chance. Get ready to go. Every single person on the crew needs to get to their battle station now. We have 42 hours to get everything ready for the biggest fight humanity will ever have. The fight for humanity's existence is, we have to be prepared. The Titan's engine started up. This huge warship began to move towards what it was meant to do. The Earth was still talking about giving up. The people on Earth did not know that the Titan was going to give them one more chance to fight back. The Titan was like a guardian that people had forgotten about. It was still looking out for the Earth. In 68 hours, the Krell Dominion would learn what human desperation could create. This is what happens when people are really desperate. They have to think of new ideas. Desperation can be a thing and it can meet innovation in a really interesting way. Desperation and innovation can come together to create something new. Sometimes desperation forces people to think outside the box and come up with innovation that they would not have thought of otherwise. When desperation meets innovation it can lead to some things. The asteroid belt was never a place where people fought before. It was a place where machines dug up things that people needed. People used those things to build things in space. Now the asteroid belt will be a place where things go to die. The asteroid belt will be a graveyard for the asteroid belt. Commander Elena Reeves was on the bridge of the Titan. She looked at the display as the Krell fleet came out of faster-than-light travel. The Krell fleet had 600 ships that showed up all at once in formation. This was a group of military ships that covered up a lot of the stars. The Krell ships were really nice to look at. Each one was made with fancy curves that you see on advanced ships from other galaxies. The Krell ships had shields that protected them and their weapons were ready to fire. The Commander Elena Reeves saw all of this on the display of the Titan. The Krell fleet was a deal with a lot of power. The Titan was sitting in the shadow of a big asteroid. The ship was painted dark so it was hard to see against the rock. The people on the Titan were very quiet looking at the problems they had to deal with. The crew of the Titan was watching as things got tougher and tougher for the Titan. Energy signatures are really high, Lieutenant Kim said. Her voice was very tense. Each of those capital ships has a lot more firepower than our whole military had before we met other people. Chief Engineer Webb looked at his console. The shield systems of the ship are like the ones everyone else in the galaxy uses. They have a field that helps protect them from getting hurt by energy weapons. This field is really good at stopping lasers and plasma from doing damage to the ship. Chief Engineer Webb said that the shield systems of the ship are made to spread out the energy from these weapons. Elena said this softly. She said, but not against what we have. The Krell flagship is a big ship. It is a dreadnought that is 2 times bigger than any other ship. The Krell flagship moved to the middle of the group. Then the communication system on the Krell flagship started working, sending out messages on all kinds of frequencies. I'm talking to you, ship. This is War Leader Thorax from the Krell Dominion. We think you are brave. That does not matter. You have one ship and you are going up against the Grand Fleet. We are giving you a choice. You can die with honor. If you fight us we will kill you quickly. If you run away we will catch you. It will take longer. What do you want to do, ship? The Krell Dominion is waiting for your answer. War Leader Thorax is giving you this choice. You can fight the Grand Fleet. You can try to escape. The Krell Dominion will not forget about you. Elena opened a channel. War Leader Thorax, this is Commander Elena Reeves of the United Solar Navy. You think we are here because we have no choice. That is not true. We did not come here to fight and die in a way. We came here to show you why the people of Earth were able to live for 10,000 years on a planet that's very hard to live on. Humanity survived for a long time on a planet that is not very nice. We are here to teach you why that is. There was a pause. Then Thorax's laughter came through the channel. It had been translated so everyone could understand. This is really something. Your species is very funny. Okay, human, we will do what you want. All ships, get into combat formation Delta. Let us destroy that ship. The human ship is very primitive, so this should be easy. Destroy the vessel. 100 Krell cruisers broke away from the group, heading straight for the Titan's position. The Krell cruisers moved with a precision that showed they had done this times before. The Krell cruisers had their plasma batteries all charged up. This created a really cool light show. This light show was so big and bright that you could see it all the way from Mars. The Krell cruisers were getting ready to attack the Titan, and the Titan was in trouble. Elena said this calmly. Oracle, she said, you need to do something for me. You have to execute something called Protocol Hammer. The computer said, the machine voice said. Everyone on the ship get ready for a shock when we make a kinetic release. The ship is going to make a release and it will be very rough, so all crew need to prepare for the kinetic release. The Titan did not have any energy weapons. It did not have plasma cannons or laser arrays. The Titan had drivers. These were rail systems that could make solid projectiles go very fast, almost as fast as light. The people who designed the Titan thought that if humans had to fight against enemies who were more advanced, it would be pointless to try to match their energy weapons. The designers of the Titan thought it was better to use physics. The Titan used mass and velocity to cause destruction. The idea was that the mass of the projectiles and how fast they were going would equal a lot of damage. The Titan relied on drivers to do this. The Titan had 20 launch tubes that opened up on its back. Inside each tube was a rod made of depleted uranium. These rods were really long, 3 meters, and pretty thick, about half a meter. When the electromagnetic coils turned on, they made a noise that sounded like thunder, but it was over in just a few milliseconds. The Titan's launch tubes were ready to go with the depleted uranium rods waiting to be used. The electromagnetic coils were powerful. When they activated, the sound was like thunder, but it happened so fast, in just a few milliseconds it was hard to believe. They launched 20 rods at the time. The rods were all going up in the air together. 20 rods were flying through the air after they were launched. The Krell formation was reached in 4 seconds. The enemy shields were not very good at stopping things that were moving so fast. A rod hit a Krell cruiser in the middle. The energy from this was so big that the ship did not blow up. It just got crushed like paper that gets squished by a hand that you cannot see. Then the reactor. A big nuclear fire started, eating up what was left of the ship. The Krell cruiser was completely destroyed by the fire and the rod that hit it. The Krell formation was under attack. The rods were causing a lot of damage to the Krell ships. 19 more impacts happened, one after the other, in a short amount of time. 19 more impacts came fast, one right after another. On the Krell flagship, war leader Thorax looked at his display and he could not believe what he was seeing. The Krell flagship was his. He was in charge. 20 of the Krell ships were just gone. They did not get broken. The Krell ships were completely destroyed. War leader Thorax was staring at the display and he was trying to understand what had just happened to the Krell ships. The Krell ships had vanished in 5 seconds. The man asked what kind of weapon that was. His tactical officer said it really fast. Sounded very worried. Our shields detected the projectiles, war leader. They could not stop the projectiles. The projectiles seemed to be objects that were speeded up to a very high speed. There is no sign of energy being used. The projectiles just hit us with a lot of force. The impact was because of how fast the solid objects were moving, war leader. Thorax's mandibles clattered in confusion. He said, what solid projectiles? That is old-fashioned. No species uses weapons to fight anymore. It has been 300 cycles since anyone used them. Thorax thought this was a weird thing to do. Thorax just did not get why anyone would use projectiles. The officer said that is probably why we did not have a defense ready. He said this in a voice. The Titan was moving now. It was going deeper into the asteroid field because of its engines. The Krell formation was still following the Titan. They were being more careful now. The Krell had lost a lot of ships already. 20 of them were gone after the fight with the Titan. Lieutenant Kim said that they are slowing down. The formation of the ships is not as tight as it was before. The spaces between them are getting bigger and it is loosening up, Lieutenant Kim observed. Webb said this with a look on his face and he seemed pretty happy about it. The people we are talking about are scared, Webb said. The people we are talking about have never been in a fight with an enemy, like us, because we do not use the technology that they use, the technology of the people we are talking about. Elena looked at the display and she thought about how far away things were in the angles. She said to Oracle, how long do we have to wait until the mass drivers can shoot again? The reload cycle for the gun is 90 seconds. I have to say that we only have 240 rounds of ammunition in total. If we keep firing at the rate, we will run out of ammunition after 12 volleys of the gun. We have to be careful with the ammunition of the gun. We need to make every shot count. We have to target the enemy command ships. The command ships are the ones that have the equipment that helps them talk to each other. The Krell fleet was changing its plan. The Krell cruisers that were left moved away from each other so there was space between the Krell vessels. This was done to make it harder for the side to hit many Krell vessels at the same time. The Krell plasma batteries started shooting. Lots of energy beams came together to hit the place where the Titan was last seen. The Krell fleet was trying to hit the Titan with all these energy beams from the Krell plasma batteries. The Titan had moved. It went behind a rock that was 3 kilometers across. This rock was like a shield for the Titan. The beams of plasma hit the rock instead of the Titan's armor. The rock got so hot that it started to melt and a big cloud of steam came out. The Titan was safe behind the rock. The Oracle said that the debris field is getting bigger. We cannot see far now. The enemy is having a time targeting us because of this. The debris field is really causing problems for the enemy targeting systems. The Titan was made for this kind of thing. It was not made for battles in space where you are really far away from each other. The Titan was made for fighting up personal. When you are fighting like this, having a lot of ships does not always help. The asteroid field was a place for the Titan to fight. There were a lot of rocks and things to hide behind. This made it easier for the Titan to fight against a lot of ships. The Titan was small, could move around easily. This was good because it could hide behind the rocks and surprise the ships. A big group of ships could not do this. The asteroid field was perfect for the Titan. The mass drivers fired again. This time the Krell mass drivers fired rods that went up into space and came down in a curve. These rods bounced off asteroids to change the way they were going before they hit what they were aiming for. The Krell point defense systems were supposed to stop missiles and energy beams. They could not stop the rods because the rods did not have any power and they were moving in a curve. The Krell point defense systems just could not track the rods. The Krell ships just kept on getting destroyed. 8 more of the Krell ships died. This is really bad for the Krell ships. The Krell ships are not doing well at all. War leader Thorax was starting to lose his cool. How are they managing to do this? One ship cannot beat a fleet. It just does not make sense. War leader Thorax thought that one ship would not be able to defeat a fleet. This is what War leader Thorax was thinking. War leader Thorax's fleet was big and strong. This one ship was winning. War leader Thorax did not understand how they were doing it. One ship against a fleet is an idea. War leader Thorax knew that. This one ship was doing it anyway. The science officer of the war leader had been looking at the data. War leader, I think I get it now. The human ship is not trying to beat us. The human ship is trying to make it very hard for us to win. Every one of our ships that the human ship destroys makes the area around us more dangerous. This is because there is junk floating around making it harder for us to move our ships. The human ship is using the junk to fight against us. It seems like the Titan was trying to show us something. The Titan launched a kind of thing that it could throw. This thing was smaller. It broke apart when it exploded. When it exploded, it made a cloud of tiny pieces of metal that flew really fast. Each of these clouds had thousands of pieces of metal about the size of a marble, and they were all moving really fast as something in space. The Titan was using these clouds of metal to attack. They were made up of thousands of little pieces of a hard metal called tungsten. The Krell formation is getting hit by these fragments. They are like rain. Ships that would normally not care about small things are now in big trouble. Their sensor arrays are destroyed. Their communication dishes are shattered. The hull plating of the ships has lots of holes in it. These ships have energy shields that can stop powerful lasers. These shields do not work against the Krell formation fragments. The fragments are just too many. They are solid. The energy shields of the ships cannot stop thousands of these solid objects that are hitting them in the Krell formation. The Krell destroyers crashed into each other. This happened because the Krell destroyers could not navigate properly due to all the shrapnel flying around. When the Krell destroyers collided, they made more debris. This debris hurt some ships. Then those ships made more debris when they got damaged. The Krell destroyers were making a mess. This mess was just getting started. Thorax gave the order that all ships should withdraw. They had to reform at a distance from the human vessel. The plan was that they would bombard the vessel from a distance. This way the human vessel would be in range of their attack. The human vessel would not be able to attack them easily. Thorax wanted to bombard the vessel from range because it was a safer plan for all of the ships. The Titan was already moving. The Titan's dark hull made the Titan nearly invisible among the asteroids. This made it very hard to track the Titan because the enemy sensors were damaged. The Titan would show up long enough to fire, then the Titan would disappear back into the rocks. Lieutenant Kim said that people are calling us the ghost ship. He was listening to what the enemy was saying. The enemy is really confused because the ghost ship is so big. It can hide really well. The ghost ship is very good at hiding. That is why the enemy does not know where it is. Elena said that the other ships are built to be noticed. This is because energy shields give off signals that can be detected. The big engines on these ships also give off a lot of heat that can be seen from away. The people who fly these ships are used to fighting enemies that make it easy for them to be found. We are doing things differently. We are being quiet and hiding behind rocks that float in space called asteroids. We then quickly go away. This way the other ships do not know where we are. Elena said that is what we are doing with our ship. We are using the asteroids for cover. Then we fade away. Chief Engineer Webb pulled up a damage report. We did get hurt, Commander. The time they hit us with plasma, it burned through 12 meters of armor on the starboard side of our ship. If we get hit like that 4 times, the Chief Engineer Webb said, we will start losing systems that we really need to keep our ship running. The Chief Engineer Webb is worried that we cannot take more hits like that. Then we do not get hit 4 times, Elena said. Oracle, target their ship, the flagship. I want War Leader Thorax to know what his victims felt when they were attacked. I want War Leader Thorax to feel the fear that his victims felt. The Titan came out from behind a rock that was spinning through space, and it started shooting at the same time. The Titan launched 40 rods in all directions, trying to hit the main ship even if it tried to get out of the way. Thorax saw the attack coming. The Thorax ship was really big and strong, the biggest in the fleet. It had lots of shields and armor to protect it. Thorax thought it could take a lot of hits from big ships. He did not think the simple weapons they were using could hurt the Thorax ship. He was wrong. The rods hit one after another. Each time they did, a layer of protection around the ship came down. When the 20th rod struck the ship, all the protection was gone. The other 20 rods then went through the ship's strong outside layer easily, like nails going into wood. These rods did not go in enough to get to the part of the ship that makes it move, but that was okay. The rods hit the part of the ship where the people in charge were: the control room, the communication equipment, and the areas that control the big guns. War Leader Thorax died away, smashed by the huge force that hit his ship. This force was so strong that it crushed the bridge, turning it into a messed up mix of metal and the people who were on it. The bridge was completely destroyed. It was like a lump of metal and organic matter all smashed together. War Leader Thorax and his bridge were totally gone. The Krell fleet was in chaos. The second in command of the Krell fleet tried to take charge. It was very hard to do that because the Krell fleet's main ship, the flagship, had its communication system destroyed. This made it very difficult to control the 600 ships of the Krell fleet. The captains of the ships of the Krell fleet had to make their own decisions. Some captains of the Krell fleet ships decided to keep moving and attack. Others tried to pull their Krell fleet ships to safety. Many captains of the Krell fleet ships just waited for orders from the Krell fleet command that never came. The Titan moved through all the confusion like a shark that swims through a school of fish. It just kept going. The mass drivers on the Titan fired until they did not have any ammunition left. Then the Titan ship switched to its weapons. The Titan had these close-range plasma cutters that were made for mining asteroids. They could also cut through warships that were already damaged. The Titan used these plasma cutters on the warships. The battle had been going on for 6 hours when the Krell fleet started to move. They were retreating completely. The Krell fleet was giving up the fight. The asteroid belt was really tough on the ships. They went in with 600 ships. Now they have 412 ships. That means 200 ships were destroyed or too damaged to keep going. The area around Earth's system is a mess with all the broken ships. It will take a long time to clean up all the debris around Earth's system, probably decades. On Earth, the Council was completely shocked. They did not say a word as they looked at the information from the sensors. There was one ship and one group of people on it. The Council thought it was impossible for them to succeed. The people on the ship and the crew had actually won. Admiral Porter opened a channel to the Titan. He said to Commander Reeves, "Commander Reeves, what's the status report of the Titan?" Elena's face was on the screen. She looked really tired. Her uniform was all sweaty. Had blood on it from some small injuries. The bridge crew was behind her, working hard to keep the damaged systems going. They were trying to fix everything that was broken. Elena's face was still on the screen. She was clearly exhausted from what had happened. The bridge crew was doing their best to help her and the ship. "Admiral, the Titan is really beat up. It is still working. We do not have any ammunition for the mass driver and the Titan is running on backup power. The good news is that the Krell fleet is going away. The Titan is heavily. It is still functional. The Krell fleet is. That means Earth is safe now. The Titan is safe. Earth is safe." Porter looked really upset. He felt happy that it was over but very sad. "The news about the people who got hurt is coming in, Commander. You lost 47 crew members. That is a lot of people. Another 60 crew members are hurt too." Elena said this softly. "They died so that humanity could live. That was the plan along," Elena added. "Humanity was the reason they died. The Council is thinking about giving up," Porter said. "Your win has shown them that they can fight back. Other species in the galactic community are paying attention. Some of them are talking about working to defend themselves. You might have just started something bigger than just this one fight. The galactic community is. They are thinking about what you have done. The Council and the other species are looking at what you have accomplished. It is making them think about what they can do." Elena looked at the display. It showed the debris field where humans and Krell had fought and died. She said to the Admiral, "We did not win because we were stronger. We won because we were desperate enough to try something. The galaxy has been at peace for a long time. So they forgot how to fight wars. We remembered how to fight. The humans remembered. That is our advantage. The humans have this advantage over the Krell." "What now, Commander?" Elena smiled tiredly. "Now we have to rebuild. We have to train. We have to get ready. The Krell will come back. Next time they will be ready for the things we did to them. We will have new things to do to them by then. That is what humans are good at. Humans adapt. The Krell will come back. We will be ready for the Krell. We will have tricks for the Krell. Humans are good at thinking of things, and that is what we will do. We will think of things to do to the Krell." The transmission has come to an end. Chief Engineer Webb walked up to Elena's chair. He said to her, "Commander, Oracle wants to talk to you. This is a conversation." Elena turned on her communicator. "Oracle." "Commander Reeves," the artificial intelligence said. "I have been looking at the battle information. I need to tell you that my first guess about our chances was wrong. I thought we had a 0.03% chance of making it through. The real chance of survival was actually 0.001%. The battle data shows that Commander Reeves, we really should not have come out on top. Commander Reeves, this is a surprise because the battle was very tough. The artificial intelligence made a mistake when it calculated our chances of winning. Commander Reeves, I am still trying to understand how we won the battle. We really did that. Yes. I am still trying to figure out why this is happening. The things that are supposed to help us win are not working in our favor. Unless something changes, the variables are not going to help our situation. The variables just do not support our victory. Unless what? Unless the thing I missed was that people can be really unpredictable. The Krell did what they were supposed to do. You did not. You made choices that did not make sense on paper. They were really smart in the end. You used people's fear, their confusion, and the land around them, in ways that my plans did not see coming. The Krell fought according to the rules. You did something. You used fear and confusion and the terrain to your advantage in ways that my plans did not think of. Elena leaned back in her chair. Oracle, that is the difference between humans and machines. Humans do not think about the chances of winning before they fight. Humans fight first. Then the chances of winning become clear. Humans do not wait to see what will happen, they just do it. Oracle, humans. Then they see what the odds are. That is what makes humans different from machines like Oracle. That is highly inefficient. Maybe. The fact is that it kept food bank services alive for people who really needed them, and it kept the food bank alive. The Titan spaceship was really hurt as it moved towards Mars orbit. It was leaving a trail of pieces and air was escaping from many holes. The Titan spaceship was damaged, it had burn marks. It was not working properly. The Titan spaceship had won. The asteroid belt was really quiet behind it except for the sound of broken spaceships slowly spinning around. The fight was finally over. Humanity had made it through its big challenge against a powerful force from another galaxy. The battle was. Humanity had come out on top. Across the galaxy, other species were watching the sensor recordings. They wanted to see what happens when you do not think much of the humans from a blue world like Earth. The humans are often seen as primitive. Other species were now watching to see what these primitive humans from a small blue world can do. The Krell Dominion will come back someday. They will be stronger. They will be wiser. The Krell Dominion will not make the mistake again. They will not laugh at Earth's prototype warships again. The Krell Dominion learned a lesson from Earth's prototype warships. The age of human warfare had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.